morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Just to Go Love Spurs member show, which today is Tuesday, which is weird because it's always a Thursday. But because my little niece, well, not so little, has been poorly, it was moved to Tuesday. And our Queries and Theories is back on Thursday. As always, I'm joined by my glamorous assistant, even though Kuva seems to think it's the other way round.
Kuva's got it right.
Mr. Jimbo's got a cold. How are you diddly doodling?
Yeah, I'm all right. I still got my man flu, but it's all right. I'm all right.
Sorry, I'm just playing the violin for you. Good to see you. And we've got our first member in who came in and said room for one more, and he's actually the first. We've got Colin from Talk a Ball.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Colin, I've got to say you sound sleepy.
I am sleepy. I just got off work, but I'm trying to get that excitement, that pre-match, that I ride the emotional high all day of a Spurs match from the moment I wake up to bed. Well, till the final whistle. Sometimes that deflates you a bit. But yeah, all good.
Good. Congrats on the 1,000 subs again.
Thank you so much.
Achievement.
Yeah, well done. Well done.
It feels really cool. Thanks to Jose and everybody who helped. I had a lot of help. So
yeah, but that's what it's all about. I had a lot of help.
Yeah, big family community. The community is great. So
exactly,
big up to everybody. Yeah.
Let's have a look who's in the chat. Obviously, we've got Kuva saying big up Jim and Jim's assistant, and all in chat. Afternoon, Drew Lala. Hope you're well, my darling.
Hey,
big up the Belgium Hotspur. Big up Jose Do to Cockrell and Kuva. Was Jose? Oh no, that was Colin, not Jose, wasn't it?
It was me.
Yes. Shemtan's here. Good afternoon, Princess Kate and Sir Jimbo. Hope you're feeling okay, Jim. Yes,
Thank
with
you,
your
Sam.
man bloody flu. Afternoon, Mr. Martin Knightsbridge. Hope you and your wall are
Martin.
well. Cassandra, good to see you as always. Kate and Jimbo, hope your niece gets well. She's a lot better. She's had tonsillitis for 2 weeks, but she's actually on the mend, thank goodness. Big up Kuva saying, Jim, are you okay? Yeah, man flu.
Thank you, Kuva. Kuva understands what man flu is.
Good afternoon and welcome back to Mr. Kaufman. Good to see you, sir. Hope you had a nice breakaway with your beloved. Nice to have you back. Afternoon, Lee Statham. I've got man flu, Jimbo. It's a tough old world. Oh my goodness. Hey, big man, Colin, the head boss of Talk and Ball. Big up, Colin. Everyone's saying congrats on your 1,000.
Jeez, thank you guys so much. I appreciate everybody. Everyone's awesome.
Yeah, if you haven't gone over already, go over. Yeah, and go over and smash a like and subscribe. I just watched Ange's press conference. Speaks a lot of sense. That man does. Big old Daddy Ange speaks sense.
And he's not afraid to give it to the reporters. It's good stuff.
Yeah, agreed. Oh, yeah, the cat's behind me. God, she's the one that hates me. Big up, Mark CFC. Good to see you, my lovely. I thought it was Jose, but nice surprise to see Colin. And we've also got, speak of the devil and he will appear, the other half of Talk and Ball. Jose's in the house. How are you, my man?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Right, Jose.
You're up early in the morning. You're too early for you in the morning. What's going on?
I haven't gone to sleep. I worked another one of those midnight to 6 a.m. shifts. So I got off work a half hour ago.
What's it? 6:30 in the morning for you, isn't it?
It is, yes, sir.
You need to see a brain surgeon, honestly.
I'm making money, man. I can't turn down that time and a half pay. It's too good.
The Boxalls, how are you? It's been a while. How are you both?
It has. We're both good. How are you, Jose?
Yeah, I'm off this week. I'm off work, so I've just come back from shopping with the ladies. Drove me absolutely fucking radio rental, and
spend a lot of money.
They've just no, I didn't spend a penny because I tried to steer clear of every shop, but I ended up lingering outside the shop while they were inside. But we've got back, so I'm back. I'm just in time for now.
Jose, you know what the trick is, didn't you? Just forget your wallet.
I know, I took my wallet with me, but I took my wallet with me. I just stood outside the shop.
Kind of pat your pockets. You go, oh no.
And my wife took us all to Weatherspoons for breakfast. I've never been to Weatherspoons in my life. We walked in there. It was about 10 past 10 in the morning. Walked in there, and people had pints in their hand. So I
Yeah.
went to the bar and I said to the fella, I said, right, is that right? It's 10:10. I've come in with breakfast and everyone's drinking beer. And he goes, yeah. I said, what time do you start serving beer? He said, 9 in the morning. I thought, fuck, you know. And what time did you finish? He said, midnight. I said, oh my God. He goes, you'd be surprised. He goes, there's a queue of people outside waiting for us to open at 9 in the morning so they can have a beer. I was just like, wow. I never knew that. Never
What a
knew
sad
Wetherspoons.
state of affairs.
Takes,
Oh my
takes all
God.
kinds, right? Though takes all kinds.
The Belgian Hotspur, I'm really sorry. I seem to have put you in timeout, and I meant to put Saini Humura in timeout, who was saying Arsenal, 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 Arsenal. So I apologise, Belgian Hotspur. Please blame it to my blondness because I am a bit blonde. But yeah, I'll make it up to you, I promise. We've also got AJ in the house. Big up, AJ. How the devil are you?
Yeah, I'm not bad, thank you. How are you all?
AJ.
AJ,
Good,
what's up, man?
thank you. Always good to see you, AJ. I look forward to you coming on the member shows always. Big up to Leo and Leo, who have both come in. Hope you're both well. Well, I thought we'd just, before we go into obviously massive game tonight, which I'm extremely nervous about. I'm not gonna lie. I wanted to go around and just get was you going to say something, Jimbo?
How long have you timed the Belgian Hotspur out for?
Oh, only the smallest amount.
All right.
I don't know how long that is. Same as what I did to Bobby Kay. I shouldn't be trusted with being able to time anyone out because I'm useless. And I shall apologise profusely when they come back.
You are not useless. Don't say that.
Jose, I'll start with you on this. What were your thoughts on Johnson and Werner's performances on Saturday?
Right. So Johnson and Werner. So I was on the Irish Hotspur on the Pump Up show on Saturday, and Dave wouldn't have it. Dave would not have it at all. I turned around and I said, speed kills. For me, you've got to start Johnson, Werner, and Son. And we knew Richarlison was probably a bit niggly, so I would have started and I said, drop Kulu and play Johnson. I'm not a Werner hater at the end of the day. At the end of the day, the guy's here. He's got 6 months to prove himself to earn a contract. I don't think he's been too bad. Yeah, people are going to criticise him for not hitting the net and that, but he's assisted. He looks dangerous. He gets into positions. Watching the game on some of the streams that we've been watching it on, it's different to watching it on Sky. You get a different camera angle, and you can see the moves that he makes, and he gets into certain positions, and they just don't find him with the ball quick enough, or they delay that final pass to him. But for me, he's done really, really well. Johnson, I've got the only issue I've got with Johnson is that last week, all right, he's been playing in the Premiership for a season with Forest. He's come to us. He needs a pre-season because I'm not sure about his fitness levels. He seems to fatigue. When he played for Wales in the national break, he came off, I don't know, in the second half because they were already clear against Finland. But in their biggest game this century, because it's to qualify for the championships, against Poland, he got withdrawn after 70 minutes. So I'm a bit fearful about his stamina. But in saying that, I keep saying this all the time, pace kills. Defenders, people play football. If any of you guys play football, you'll know this. A defender would rather be up someone's backside and striping them and feeling the striker rather than having pace come at them. And for me, we've got players in our team who've got frightening pace. You just need to find them. If you can find them, you're going to create chances. So for me, yeah, I'm happy with both, to be honest.
Yeah. AJ, you feeling the same? I don't know. I can't remember. I think you're on the fence with Werner or you're more pro Werner. I can't remember.
I'm not a Werner hater. I think since he's been here, but to be honest, we panicked. We needed somebody in to replace, or not to replace Son, but while Son was away, we needed an extra body in, somebody that's going to be quick, get in behind. We needed somebody else because we just didn't have that player in the squad. We brought him in, and for me, since he's been here, you can't complain about what he's contributed. He's always effective. Yes, we know he's going to miss. We know he's going to miss an open goal. We know he's going to stand chances, but we are far more deadly with him in the team. Far more deadly with him in the team. He picks the ball up, and his first thought is to run at people. get at people, commit people. And you see that defenders are scared to tackle him. When he's driving into the box, they don't want to tackle him because they know he'll just shift the ball once, lay the ball off, they're going to knock him. You draw a penalty, he's committing defenders all the time. I think he is doing. We have to leave it till the rest of the season to decide whether or not to trigger. I think it's not it's an option, isn't it? It's not.
Yeah.
We
Obligation.
haven't got to sign. Yeah, that's the word. I was racking my brain to try and find the word. It's not an obligation, but if he carries on the way he is, if he's as deadly, we haven't got anybody else that will do that. Son can play out wide, but he's far more effective up front. Kulusevski was absolute dog shit. And I rate Kulu, but that was he just losing the ball consistently, backing out of 50-50, like absolutely offered nothing. I think when you did your player ratings, I think I rated him at like 4 or 3. He was absolutely dreadful. Werner, for me, has to start every game, and the passes need to come quicker. They need to find him quicker because once he's in behind, you are not catching him. The boy's jet propelled. You're not catching him at all. On the other hand, Brendan Johnson, I see people, and I see it on Facebook and I see it on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it now, people getting, they get too carried away with things. And he has a shit performance, and people go, "Oh, I knew he was shit. I knew we shouldn't have signed him." He has a great performance. Oh, he should be starting every week. No. He's coming to the team. He's learning the system. Give him time. He has proven with his performances, he's good at coming off the bench. When he comes off the bench, he's a completely different player. He hasn't got the stamina to go, which is really weird for somebody. He's still really young. For somebody his age to not have the stamina to go all game is worrying. But for me, I would keep him on the bench for the rest of the season. Keep bringing him on. Half an hour to go, 20 minutes to go. Driving at the defense. Look at what he did between Werner and Johnson. They contributed heavily in both goals. Johnson more so, but against Luton, they contributed for both our goals. And as your man said earlier, speed kills. As I used to play as a defensive midfielder, I could stand there. I'm 5'8", but I'm strong. I can stand there and I can argue and fight and tussle for the ball with people double my size. You put anyone against me with pace, I hated it. Absolutely hated it. You mistime a challenge, you get a yellow card, and you're giving away a free kick or a penalty. Pace terrifies defenders. So for me, yeah, they both did very well.
Yeah. Colin, what about you? Your thoughts? Welcome, Phil. I'll come to you in a minute, sir.
It's all right. Hope everyone's okay in the chat.
Yeah, all good. Thank you. Yeah, Colin, what's your thoughts on Timo and Johnson?
Well, I just want to say I'm sharing the screen with some very wise people because they've said a lot of what I would like to say. I think that people are like unnecessarily harsh on Werner. Yeah, he was inexpensive or is going to be inexpensive. People have an aversion to that. Yeah, he didn't quite cut the mustard at Chelsea. Silly things I think to judge a guy for. He's come into this team, like everybody said, no preseason. Everyone's like, oh, give a player time to adjust. He hasn't really even had any time to adjust. He's been thrown straight in and adjusted straight away. He's contributed straight away. If he can keep this up, I say we keep him. I think that Werner's been great. Johnson's a bit of a weird one because you can see that Johnson has the tools. It's like Werner has everything up here that Johnson doesn't. They're both similarly like quick and like to, run with the ball. Werner is a lot more likely to take on his man. And yeah, Johnson, I don't know if it's a lack of bravery or what is going on with him, but it seems like he's capable of more than he is giving. I'm not really sold on Johnson yet, but I am sold on Werner, as funny as that sounds. I think Werner is a steal, and we absolutely need to snap him up. Even if he cost 30, I'd still not think it was a terrible buy. But.
Jimbo, any thoughts on Werner and Johnson you want to add before I move over to Phil?
Yeah, I think that what everyone's been saying, he's getting. But I think he gets a bit of a bad rap. He does need to put the ball in the net. We all know that. I mean, everybody can moan about it. He's not doing it, putting the ball in the net. But I think that what he contributes to the team is excellent, and he will start putting the ball in. Johnson was the same. He started scoring a few now, and you get him in the right positions. Ellie was right yesterday when she said that he's behind the defender too much. He needs to get in front of the defender. But I mean, he's 28 and he should know that, really, shouldn't he? I mean, I think when we were playing football as kids, we all knew that at a young age. But I like him. I said to you when he first come, Kate, I was pleased that he come because of his speed, and I thought Ange would get him playing good football, and I'm still convinced he will. And I think for the price, even if he's just comes off the bench, you know, it's a cheap buy. Yeah, and
it's not like it's just a cheap buy for a cheap buy's sake. Like he's actually, there's a player there. It's a rare time when you can get a good deal on a good player. Fans think just because a player's a good deal that they're bad for some reason. You know.
Yeah.
Welcome,
Over
Ellie.
to you, Phil.
Yeah, Phil. I've got a feeling you might have a different opinion to Werner. You're muted though. Phil, you're muted.
Philip.
My bad.
That's
my
all right.
debut, and I've got myself muted. On Werner, I like certain aspects of his game. You know, with his pace, he can take on a man. It's just his end product, and if he can get that right, I think we might have a player on our hands. But I'll be happy with Werner as a squad player. So if in the summer we buy, you know, an upgrade on him on the wing, I'll be happy with him coming off the bench as an impact player like Johnson does, because I think they both play better coming off the bench when teams sort of tire in the latter stages of the game. So yeah, going forward, I don't think he's what we need as a starter, but yeah, I think we can do better. But I don't think he's you know, poor as a footballer, but you know, we can do better.
What about Johnson?
Johnson, he's a little bit the same, really. He's got the pace, just not. He is getting better with his end product because he's got a lot of assists this season, you know, in the same sort of amount of games. So he is getting better with each game he plays, but we just have to see that. I mean, Werner hasn't got his age on his side, which Johnson does. So we'll just have to see and see how it plays out with Johnson. But I think he's got more of a ceiling than Werner does, in my opinion.
Yeah. Ellie? There we go. Mrs. Controversial. Come on, Ellie.
Hey, hang on 1 second, Kate. Just
right.
Ellie, 1 second, 1 second. Belgian, if you press the
well, I've just asked if he's on a computer or phone, because it will be a different way to join. Oh, he's going to go to his PC. I was going to say, if you go to your PC and go to the homepage, there's actually a subscribe or join button. And if you click that, you can choose your membership from there. Sorry, Ellie.
That's all right. No worries. Like I said yesterday, his industry's really good. You know, he works hard, but there's something missing. It's not just his goal scoring, lack of goal scoring prowess. He's just not a very. I don't think he's a very intelligent footballer, to tell you the truth. He always gets in good positions and then he's very wasteful. I think he's wasteful because the balls he puts in, hardly any of them connect. You look at it, you go back and watch all these reels, right? They hardly ever hit the target, and when he does everything right, and then he puts it past the post. He's missed 18 big chances this season, and I just think we can get a better winger. I'm ambitious, right? I want to go places with Ange Postecoglou, and I don't think Werner's the answer, even as a squad player. That's just my own personal opinion, because I just don't think he's good enough, even as a squad player. I just don't like. I don't like that he misses so much.
All I'm going to say is, if I speak about you being ambitious and who you rate, Ellie, honestly.
No, the thing is, I don't rate. That's where people get it wrong. I don't rate Højbjerg as a. I don't rate him really. I just think he does something to the team that's a little bit more. You know, I see something in Højbjerg that I don't see in Werner.
See, I see it the other way round.
You're the other way round.
Me too, Jimbo.
They're different players anyway. You can't compare them because one's a defensive midfielder and one's a winger, stroke striker.
Ellie, so if Timo starts knocking in a few goals, say he gets us 10 goals a season, what do you think then with his play?
I don't think he'll do it, but I don't think he's got it in him to score that many goals.
Yeah, but that's not what Jim's asking you. He's asking you if he did it.
If he did, I still don't think he's good enough. I think we can get better. And if we're gonna go to the next level, I just feel we can do better, guys. That's all I'm saying. I'm gonna shut up now.
No. I mean, I don't agree with you really necessarily, but that's not a bad thing. I really hope that he proves you wrong. I think you'd be happy to be proved wrong.
Well.
It's not. You don't want to be right in this situation. You know what I mean? You're just calling it how you see it.
Yeah.
I
mean, he's not
inning to miss rather than score. Like that, Mason Mount. I used to call him Mason Missed because he missed a lot of chances. With Werner, he's the same. He misses so many chances. He's got all the technical ability. He's got, and he can beat his man. He's just in front of goal. He's got no prowess. Like I said, Jimbo, about him standing behind the defender. That's schoolboy stuff. You've got to bust your gut to get across the 6-yard box to make the tap in. And he did it 3 times, actually. The first time the defender scored an own goal. And you think he'd learn and get in front of his defender, but he doesn't. That's why I just don't want him.
I mean, what we got to remember is, is the club gonna buy him at the end of his loan? You know, they might not go ahead with it. They might not go ahead with the 15 million signing and go for someone else. They might see,
I hope so,
someone a little bit better than what Werner is. But I think for £15 million, I think you've got a player there that comes off the bench that can sort of impact a game.
Especially when people are tired, Phil.
Yeah. It's the same with Johnson as well, Jim.
You're in multiple competitions.
I think they're similar sort of players, but
I play him in the cups.
I think in the market you might be able to get a bit of an upgrade on Werner, for probably not as much, not as much money. More money. It's 15 million.
He's
but
on 164,000
we'll have to see.
as well. He's on 164 grand.
Yeah, he's on big wages. But is he going to get a big contract at Spurs? Because he's 28 now. He'll be soon 29 probably. So is he going to? He's not going to be the future at Spurs. He's not going to be like a long-term player at Spurs. He may get a 2 or 3 year contract, but I think we need to start getting players that are probably a little bit more quality for longer contracts, because we need players that are going to be here long term.
Yeah.
But do you not think?
But I'm not saying he's not a good player, because I think he can affect games. But
Phil, do you want to fight? You saying he's a bad player, Phil?
Hold on. Can I just say?
No, far from it, Colin. No, man.
I'm actually wanting Timo to do a bit more before he proves it to me. I think he's definitely got a little bit more for me to prove him. But
definitely.
But this is a misconception that he was bad at Chelsea. He actually had 20 GA. And so when you actually look at his actual time in a team that was a bit it was a bit of a crazy time at Chelsea when he was there, I don't think he did actually as bad as what people actually say, which I think is really funny, because people look at all the things that he did bad, but actually didn't look at the stuff that he actually did at Chelsea. So I'm going to say that and sort of not defend him, but say in the balance of fairness. But to me, he definitely has to do more. But for that price, while we're building a team, could we afford to maybe have him there while we are still building a little bit? Because don't forget, Ange did say it's going to take a little bit longer. It isn't going to be done in one summer. So another, and that's two summers. So while we're building, I think if he does prove it and does a bit more, I wouldn't say it would be a bad thing to have him. That's the one thing I will say.
I like
Very,
him.
very
And
diplomatic.
I think he gets far too much hate and far too much criticism. And I don't know if that's because of his time at Chelsea and he's seen as a Chelsea reject, but I do think he offers something off the bench. And I read today we can get it for as low as £12 million. For me, it's a no-brainer. And I'm sorry if people think that means I'm unambitious and I'm the problem at the club, but I like him and I think he can do it.
No, it's okay.
It's
No,
all right,
no,
Kate. You're allowed to like who you want, you know.
When he was
Nobody can criticise you for liking him because that's your own opinion.
when he was at Chelsea, I used to think he was a good player. The only thing that was wrong with him was he was offside all the time. But he seems to have. He doesn't seem to be offside a lot with us. But I can't understand how people can't see that he's a decent player. And you're right, Phil. What Phil's saying is exactly right. That we do need an upgrade on him. But I think on the bench when we're late in games and teams are tired, him and Johnson. I mean, to bring them two on would be phenomenal for me.
And
Jim, there are people that will hate. There are people that will just hate for hating's sake. There are people that just want to hate.
Squad's paper thin.
Exactly. For me, everybody, we all have preconceived notions of players, but the inability to change your perspective, your opinion on somebody, regardless of their performances, just means you're ignorant. If you're just going to continually bang the drum of, oh, we used to play for Chelsea, oh, he's a miss merchant, oh, this, regardless of what he's contributing, regardless of how well he plays in our team, if you're going to do that just for the sake of it, you're ignorant.
Joe, if you look up the games in the first season at Chelsea, he actually started more games and he was really effective for them. Like I say, the amount of goals and assists that he actually got wasn't too bad at all. And I think that people, like I say, always go by this. Like he had 8 assists and he had 6 goals in that first season. And I think in that team that he was a bit, like I say, it was a bit of a crazy team. I think people were really judging him a lot more, like a lot harshly. Like you say, Jay, if I'm proved wrong, I'm so be it. But I've got no agenda against him. Like I want him to do well. So I think that when people have this notion where they automatically go, right, he's rubbish, that's it, and they can't ever see the good points of him, I just don't get it. Why would you do that? Do you know what I mean? It's just, it's a bit silly.
Yeah, agreed. Can I just say, where are we? I want to say thank you to Ben for his 5 months. I've had members. Wow. Super chat. Nice that you took Mickey to her first game and we got a win. Maybe she's our lucky charm. Yeah. And also to Joris, the Belgian Hotspur, for becoming a member. Big up to you. Good to see you. And thank you for the support. Another one who's causing a lot of is he divisive? Well, he's always been divisive for me because I've never liked him.
I thought that said Coover then.
I've never liked Coover either, but don't tell him. Kulu, thoughts of him as a winger or a number 10? Bimbo, I'll come to you first. What do you make of Kulu this year? For me, he's been poor.
Do you know what? I'm really confused with Kulu because we can see what we know what he can do, but I think it's just where he's being played, Kate. And I can't get my head around. This is one thing about Ange. You know how much I love Ange, and I'm so pleased we got him. I don't know why he persists on playing him there. It confuses me. I mean, I don't know what else to say to you. I do like Kulu, and we know what he can do, but I hate him on the wing. And when he starts on the wing, I just think to myself, he's going to get brought off. You know, it's going to go. He's going to half time or 10 minutes in the second half, and he's not going to affect the game. And it's happening game after game. So I don't understand why Ange persists with putting him there. I don't know what else to say about him.
Yeah, Colin, what's your thoughts on Kulu?
You know, we're talking about these pacey wingers. Kulu's obviously very different to that. Very different. Obviously we all watch him play, but he uses his strength a lot more. He's kind of a hold up player, pokes his way past the defender. I think he's useful. I think there's still a spot for him in the team, horses for courses and all that. I keep saying paper thin squad. We're going to be we want to be playing European football of some variety next season, depending on who you are. You might want a different flavor of European football. That's up to you. But, we want to be back in Europe next season, so he's going to be important. I think he's better, though, in the midfield. I think if we play against teams that sit back, it would be really nice to have him and Maddison both in the midfield three. I think that would help a lot with unlocking, packed defenses, park buses. No, I mean, yeah, he's. You guys are totally right. He hasn't been cutting the mustard lately. That's for sure. He's a little bit of a one-trick pony, I'm afraid. When he first came into the league, he was unknown quantity to a lot of players, to a lot of defenders. Whereas now, you pretty much know what he's going to do. That's why I think playing him through the middle makes him a little less predictable. I don't know if you guys would agree with that, but yeah. So
can I just ask, Kate? Can someone educate me here and ask me why do managers play players on the wing on their opposite foot? Like they put right-footed players on the left.
That's the trend. That's the whole inverted wingers, inverted fullbacks, everything. That's the trend at the minute.
Gareth Bale, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, big up. Sorry, before you carry on, big up to Martin Knightsbridge for the super chat. Thank you, my lovely. But yeah, that's. I don't know. That just seems to be the thing that the managers do these days. Jose, what's your thoughts on Kulu?
Kulu's a good footballer, regardless of how he's playing at the moment. He's a good footballer. He's at the end of the day, he's following instruction. Whatever he's doing is because he's following instruction. If he wasn't following instruction, he would not be selected week in, week out. So whatever it is that is Ange's plan, he's following instruction. Okay, albeit on Saturday he got hooked at half time. It's the first time I've ever recalled Kulu being hooked at half time. So he must be following instruction. And if he's put out wide, he's going to play out wide. Do I prefer him in that position? Not necessarily. I think he done us a really good touch the first half of the season. He played out of his skin for the team. He's a team player. I still believe he's a team player now. And he's a player who will do anything you want. If you say to him, I want to play as a false nine, he'll play as a false nine. If you say to him, you want to play him as a 10, he'll play as a 10. If you want to play me right wing, left wing, he'll play anywhere to get a game for Tottenham because he's a team player. Now, at the end of the day, the second half of the season, it looks like it's fallen off a cliff and stuff. But, he's got plenty of attributes. He can play in lots of different positions for us. It's different. If Johnson was fully fit, in the sense that he could last the 90 minutes week in, week out, then I don't think Kulu plays out on the wing. But because I think Johnson's fitness levels are so poor, Kulu gets to start there all the time. But for me, he's a good player. At the end of the day, he's got different attributes. He can play in different positions, and the one thing above most is that he is definitely a team player.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Phil, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, with the comment that Ben Coughlin put up just a minute ago about Kulu playing as a number 9, I don't know if it's very controversial with a lot of Spurs fans, but I would be inclined to put him there in front of Richarlison. To be honest with you, I think Kulu holds up the play a lot better than what Richarlison does. Albeit Richarlison does have better attributes. He's maybe a better finisher than Kulu is, but I think Kulu can sort of bring our wingers into play and bring Maddison into play with his hold-up play. So I think Kulu is effective. He is effective for us, but he's not effective on the right wing. He's just not as pacey as our other wingers are. And I think he's a bit found out in the Premier League with going on the outside or coming on the inside. I think he's just too predictable. But I would nowhere near get rid of him in the transfer market. I think he brings a lot to our play. But yeah, I think he's more better as a central striker or as a number 10.
Yeah.
I agree with that as well.
Yeah, I do as well. AJ, what do you think?
Wow, what's all that noise in the background? Who's eating?
I don't know what it is.
I think it's Colin typing.
Colin's typing away.
Oh,
I'm
someone was
muted.
getting their eat.
That's my bad. I'm amateur hour. Sorry.
Kulu is very divisive in the sense that when he first came to us, he was exciting. The second he got the ball, he burst forwards, and yeah, he'd cut inside and he'd whip a ball in, or he'd bend it top bins, and everyone would be like, "Oh, Kulu, what a fantastic signing!" His game as a winger is very predictable. It doesn't mean that he's shit, it doesn't make him crap, but it's very predictable. He needs to adjust. I think the reason he plays is because he holds the width, allowing the inverted fullbacks to get forwards. He's coming inside and he's cutting inside and he's trying to make the runs into the box, the fullback is null and void. Then there's no point in playing that system.
He's got a good understanding with Porro, hasn't he? I think that's why he saw.
Defensively, he's better than any other player we've got in that position. His progressive carries, his strength on the ball, these are all attributes that nobody else in that team has. That's why he plays, in my opinion. But as a threat going forwards, his form has just and I love Kulu, but he's fast getting to the point where his position is going to be under threat. He's going to be starting on the bench if he doesn't buck his ideas up, because it's all well and good dropping back and helping out your fullback. It's all well and good being able to press the ball up the pitch. But if the ball gets up the pitch and you're not doing anything with it, there's only a certain amount of times your manager is going to go, yeah, okay, try again. If he's got somebody like Johnson, the second he gets on the pitch, is driving at defenders, he's assisting, he's scoring, he's making a difference. Sooner rather than later, it's going to be Kulu that's on the bench. But I'm hoping that whatever it is, whether it's mental or whether it's something else, I'm hoping that he sorts it out, because as a player, I rate him. I think he's a very, very good player, but not for me, not from the wing.
I think you might find, like, in the summer transfer window, if we do get like upgrades on the wing, I think you'll find that Ange may have a plan for Kulu to be that second string sort of player to Maddison, like coming off the bench, maybe. As an option to come off the bench.
Joe, what? I don't think it's off the bench though, Phil. I think what will happen in games where we need someone a bit more physical, where maybe with Maddison he gets kicked a lot, where Kulu can handle that. So in certain games, I would play him over Maddison. In fact, I know that sounds a bit wild and people are going to get onto me about it, but I think in some games Maddison just doesn't cut the mustard because he's a bit weak on the ball. He kind of gets kicked a lot, and then he kind of we do suffer. So
sometimes you do have to tweak. Yeah, sometimes you do have to tweak it a bit for certain teams in certain games, don't you?
Yeah.
Because they have obviously different players. But I agree with that. You may see Kulu coming in instead of Maddison. You might find him on the bench at certain times in the season. Yeah, I agree with that.
I think with Madders, when he gets kicked, as soon as Madders starts getting kicked, he loses his head and he's not as effective. And I agree with you. I think sometimes when you need a workhorse, you need someone who's going to be in there and ride the tackles and get kicked. I mean, look at the body difference between the two of them. I mean, I didn't realise how slight build Maddison was. He is quite slight. He's agile, whereas Kulu's a workhorse. So I agree. I agree with you.
And to be fair to Kulu, this season he's actually scored 6 goals and 6 assists. I think he's got how many assists? Let's see, I can't think. 3, and he's created 12 big chances. So he has done all right. I think it's just on the eye when you watch him. That's the problem, because on the eye when he's down the wing, that's where people obviously have a problem. But like I say, I think to play him instead of Maddison sometimes would be actually a really good idea. See, like tonight, West Ham are physical. I'd put Kulu in the middle. I know it sounds mad, but I'd actually put Kulu in the middle because I think that West Ham are a very physical team and they're going to bully Maddison. So I'd put Kulu in that middle. positions.
Well, we know-
I think it'd be more effective.
We know what he can do, Mia. We know there's a player in there because we've seen it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, that's it. And that's why I think in the middle tonight, on a game like tonight where we've got up against very physical players that will bully, I think that we actually could do with a Kulu in the middle.
Yeah. Ellie, what are your thoughts? Lovely.
Well, everybody knows that I love Kulu. I think he's a fabulous player. The thing is, he's off form, right? When you see the best of Kulu, he's so good at helping Porro. He's so good at carrying the ball up the field for us. He's the best. Like AJ said, he's the best in our team at carrying the ball. It's proven. The stats don't lie in that respect. But what doesn't lie is when he gets to that final third and he has difficulty, because I think it's a direct instruction from Ange Postecoglou, because he likes to play across the box. We see it with Udogie. They like to play intricate balls across the box rather than do a hopeful cross, right? And then you haven't got nobody with aerial presence if Richie's not playing, so he's not going to pump it across, is he? He's going to do it low across like we've seen Johnson do. But Johnson, to his benefit, has done it very well. Because I see fans say that he can't cross a ball, but he's crossed so many balls that we've scored from, so that's wrong. But the Kulu's not doing it, and he needs to do it because he's got it in him. We've seen it when he first came to the club. He created 7 assists in that short time that he was with us, and that's why we signed him. But I think his attributes he's quite a unique player. But as I don't like when they call him a one-trick pony. I don't like that because he's not. He can carry the ball and he can beat his man. It's just when defenders will catch up with you, and if you aren't decisive on that last ball, they generally catch up with you and win the ball off you. And that's what's been happening. He's been losing the ball a lot, and people remember that more than they remember when he's done something good, you know, because the jury's out on him, isn't it? A lot of fans are quite divisive with him. So, but I personally like him because he does bring a lot to our team. Yeah.
Just Invincible, I appreciate your kind words, but I can assure you, yes, you can stick with Egal. I'm not coming over to the dark side.
And we don't want it, Gal, so please don't make us swap.
Yeah, we definitely don't want a Gal.
I'd rather do some unthinkable things than to have a Gal. No offence to Gal, great, but not to play.
Yeah,
absolutely
if you're
not.
listening, Gal.
The Gal knows, isn't it? I know a Gal.
You
So
haven't got a friend.
But I just thought the narrative on the terrace with regards to Arsenal was all wrong. So I just said my bit, but it did pain me a little bit. I'm not sure that's true, Nathan, because I doubt Kulu, but purely because I don't think he's a winger. I think he needs to be moved. He's awful on the wing for me. And big up Bobby K, member for 5 months. And yeah, Nathan, thank you for the super chat.
Bobby.
Good to see.
Bobby.
Yeah, thanks for bringing it, Phil. We will be doing score predictions a little bit later for tonight's game. Obviously, massive game tonight. Who starts in midfield? This is a tricky one. Who wants to take first on this? Colin. Go on, Colin. Off the trot.
So, I mean, well, okay, wait. Do you want realistic or just what I personally want?
You can do what you'd like and what you think will happen. It's entirely up to you.
Yeah. So how nice would it be, right? We're talking about Kulu and, you know, getting him more involved. I think a midfield 3 of Bentancur for some stability, for some steel, and then Kulu and Matters. I think that'd be wonderful. Is it a little lightweight? Yeah, of course. But I think that, you know, they've got the technical ability to kind of play through the lines, and you know, you've got Benny there, you've got Lolo, kind of providing a little shield. I know he's not exactly a defensive midfielder, exactly, but he's got the tools to do so. Likely we'll see. I mean, Sarr hasn't done anything to be dropped, so likely we'll see Sarr. Sarr, Bentancur, and Madison is my guess in midfield. Basuma shouldn't play, I don't think. I think Basuma, I don't know what his deal is. I don't know if we if the step up was too much for him to make, but he doesn't even seem like he's playing as well as he played at Brighton with lesser players surrounding him. So it's like, that one's a mystery to me. I'm really glad that we didn't pay more than we did. We got a really good deal on him, remember? And thank God we did, because that could be another Ndombele situation. You know what I mean? We could have, if he cost market price at the time, we would be out a lot of money because of Bissouma. So do you guys think Bissouma is going to come good? Do you guys see that?
I would hope so.
Me
We're
too.
praying. I'll pray every day.
Yeah, but that's me. That's me. I didn't mean to answer your question with a question. So Sarr, Bentancur, and Maddison today.
I was about to say we haven't got all local in. Jeez.
I thought we did. I thought we did.
Who agrees, or is there anyone?
I disagree. I would play Lolo, I would play Sarr, and I would play Kulu. So I would keep Sarr because Sarr's legs and work rate are so important to us. When you see
drop
what he does, yeah.
He hasn't been at his best, that's for sure.
I don't think his head's right at the moment. I just don't think since he got injured, since he's come back, he's not been the same player. So whether he needs to be dropped as a reminder that no one's bigger than the team. Like if you're not performing, I don't care who you are, get on the bench, let somebody else come on. I don't know whether that's needed, but all I do know from the midfield three, that Bissouma should be nowhere near the pitch because he, after the first 10 games, we were all delirious. We were all, what a player we have, what a superstar, he can do everything. And then after those 10 games, it's like someone's played some sort of practical joke on us. It's the want isn't there, the desire, the work rate, like nothing, like the flair, nothing about what we saw in the first 10 games is evident in his play. So for me, whoever takes to the pitch, it shouldn't be Bissouma.
Yeah.
But like I say, I think we have to play Sarr because I think Sarr's so important to how we play and the energy. And he's just literally everywhere with his long legs. He gets back, forth, and I think that is we have to have that today.
And more importantly, he deserves his place.
Sorry, George.
Yeah, I agree with you, Mia. He deserves his place in the team for sheer work rate and for sheer affecting games as well. He saved us so many times with his industry, getting back against Fulham. He busted his guts ahead.
And in that first half against Luton, he was our best player in my opinion in that first half because he was just everywhere and he was trying, man. He was showing some energy.
But I would like to give another permutation on the midfield three. I would like to see Lo Celso and Bentancur because I'll tell you why. I've got a reason, right? Against Aston Villa, right? He's celebrating old Jose there, right? Against Aston Villa, that was the best midfield performance we've had all season. Better than Maddison, Bissouma against Aston Villa in that first 35 minutes before Matty Cash done Bentancur in. They were sublime, those two. Their work rate, their link-up play, and they had it against Fulham as well, and they had it on Saturday when we played, right? They had it, right? They've got this understanding together, right? And then when Sarr tires, right, then bring on either Kulu or Højbjerg, depending on what the score is. Right? But I would really love that permutation because they work so good together. And they've got that Latin American, Uruguayan, whatever understanding.
Do you know what my problem is with it?
Maybe they give us a Zomba while they're there. Hey, baby.
Do you know what my problem is, Ellie, though, is that we see Lo Celso, he has one good game, and then the next game he just goes off the boil. Like
he hasn't been given a chance, really, has he?
To play. I think he's had more.
I think he's had more than enough.
I think he's had more of an opportunity to sort of stamp in.
In the past, yes, I agree.
Right? Yeah.
But now give him another chance, right, to see what he can do with Bentancur because he's never had a chance to play. like I said, against Aston Villa, they were brilliant together, right? And that we can change it around because we've got Madders, we've got Basuma. It's not as if we're taking a big chance.
Ellie, I think the games we've got 9 games left. I think is it or 8 games left, something like that. And every game now is so crucial to get into fourth spot, right? So you're playing players. You're playing players that haven't really been consistent for Tottenham for a good while, and I just don't trust Gio and Celso to start, important games up to the end of the season. No, I mean for me, my midfield would be Benton Club because I think Basuma's gone off the boil, and I don't think he's a number 6. I think he's a number 8. I think Basuma's a number 8. I think that's why his form's dipped. Benton Club is more of a 6 than he is 8, in my opinion. But I would play Sarr 100% because he's been the most consistent player for us this season with his energy. And then I wouldn't drop my. I don't know if I'm.
Yeah, you were.
No, but your mic's cutting in and out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. So I mean, Maddison, I wouldn't drop.
You swimming in a goldfish bowl.
Class is permanent, form is temporary. So
yeah,
I'll come in and out. I'll come in and out. All right.
Yeah.
See, you can't have one yardstick for one player and another yardstick for another. And I know Lo Celso's done it for longer, but in his latest period, when he's played all right, and he's scored 2 goals, but he hasn't been given a chance since. So why not give him a half to see what he can do?
Ellie, let Jose land because I can see he's chomping at the bit to get in and defend Lo Celso, and I've got to hear this because for me Lo Celso's a waste of space. So come on, Jose, convince me.
Right, to me, it's about playing. I understand what everyone's argument is about Lo Celso. Lo Celso probably won't be with us beyond this summer, but it's not about this summer. It's about the here and now, the next 9 games. And to me, I've said before the game, this is where Dave, the Irish Hotspur, disagreed with me again. I turned around and said that for me, Sarr's done really, really well for us, but I don't know what it is. But since the AFCON, he's come back with an injury. He's not looked the same player to me that he did before he went to the AFCON. Basuma's fallen off a cliff and has done since November last year, and he's fallen off a cliff. So to me, like Ellie said, I turned around and I said to Dave the other day, I want to see the speed that kills up front, but I want to see technical ability in the midfield. And by technical ability, I mean pass the ball quickly, move the ball really quickly, triangling and playing the ball out quickly to feed Werner, because Werner gets into positions, but we're so slow trying to get the ball up to him. So I want to see technical ability and people that can move the ball quick. And for me, the 3 that can move the ball quick are Gio, Lolo, and Madders. Give them 3 a chance to play. But I'd also fundamentally bring Van der Ven back into the team as well. I'd bring Van der Ven back into the team. Anything you try and do only works if Van der Ven's playing. Well, we've seen this. When Van der Ven doesn't play, forget Romero for a minute. Romero's world class, by the way, but the person that we missed playing our system is always Mickey Van der Ven. So Van der Ven's got to come back into the team. And if Van der Ven comes back into the team, it gives you that opportunity to play your skillful, your technical players in midfield and your speed merchants up front. So for me,
midfield though, that's the thing. They've got really strong players, Jose. That's what you've got to think of.
I saw them played up right. What I was going to say, I mean, we're not talking about predicted lineups or anything, but what I did say the other day is West Ham have just come off a defeat against Newcastle, being 3-1 up and losing 4-3. I saw the 2 goals, apart from the 2 penalties, or I can say, including the 2 penalties, speed kills. Speed got at at West Ham. It was a speed that led to all 4 goals. And the other thing is that with West Ham, Alvarez was suspended. And apart from Alvarez, which they replaced him with Ward-Prowse for the game, West Ham put out their first 11. and they're the same as Tottenham. They've got to play 3 days later, i.e. tonight. But we can make changes. We've got the luxury that we can change players and we can change our team, change our system. West Ham, if you look at their squad, they don't have that luxury. So West Ham, it'd be interesting to see who they put out tonight, because them players, most of them played for the whole 90 or 100 minutes of the Newcastle game. And it must affect them. Your mind as well must be affected by losing a game like that. And then also the travelling that they had to do and stuff like that. To me, at the end of the day, yeah, if we pick the right team tonight and the right selection, then I can't see us losing tonight at all.
Can I just say something about Gio?
Is my mic a bit better now, is it? Or
No,
can you hear
it's
me?
still really crackly.
Crackly.
I don't
Is
know
it?
why. It was fine earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll try and sort it out.
I was just going to say, for me, I don't want to give Gio any more chances. I'm sick to the sight of him. I am sick to death of looking at his face. He's got a stinking attitude. He cannot stay fit. I don't want him playing. I don't want Højbjerg playing. He's got a stinking attitude. He wants to go. Bugger off. Get out of my team. Stop
Yeah, but
coming
Kate-
on.
Højbjerg hasn't
Kate, can I second? Can I?
How
Kate, can I
do
just?
you make that out?
Because of his
Can I add to
comments.
that,
On the
Kate?
pitch and gives his all.
No,
Kate, can I add to that?
Yes, he does.
His comments the other
One
day were
second.
outrageous.
Yeah, because he wants to play. You want a player that wants to play, don't you? You don't want to play
with Gio,
sit on the bench and accept it.
with Gio,
I think that's
I don't know about
character.
anybody else. I don't know about anybody else, but for me, all the other South American boys we have and have had, when they get on the pitch, there's a fight, there's a determination, there's an aggression, and every one of them want to fight for the ball when it means something to them, and they're in your face. There's an aggression. With Gio, I've never seen that, and that's not taken away from his ability. He is a fantastic footballer when he's up for it. Watch him for Argentina, where it means something for him to him, where he's representing his nation, where it's pride. He's a different player than when he puts on the shirt for us. It just does not mean the same to him when he puts on a Spurs shirt. And for me, if it doesn't mean everything to you to represent my club, get out the fucking door.
Yep.
But he came on and he battled more than anyone else.
Yeah.
When he came on,
He did, but that's
the
one
other
I
day.
agree with that, Jose.
One game.
Right, hold on. Remember what I said, right? I've said, just to make it clear, I ain't a lover of Gio. I've said clearly he probably won't be with us beyond this summer. But you've got to use what you've got in these remaining 9 games. And if you've got players like Basuma, Sarri's not 100, right? If they're not going to get a game, you've got to stick other players in that can play. And Gio and Bentancur for the half an hour they played against Villa were the best midfield pairing that we had all season. So the thing is,
I would pick Gio over Basuma. I would pick Gio over Basuma.
To be honest, I probably would, because Basuma has got me pulling my hair out. He just looks so
Yeah,
uninteresting.
it's so frustrating.
I
It's so
could play
frustrating.
instead of Basuma. I'll do a better job than him.
I mean, what I will say, Jose, is what you said about Sarr, I don't particularly agree with, because that first game when he came back from the African Cup of Nations, he was magnificent, and he showed us all why we missed him, because he was everywhere. And I think he is our most consistent midfielder this year by a mile.
I'm not disagreeing. I never disagreed with anyone. I've said quite clearly that for me, it's just that he's carrying an injury since he's come back from the AFCON. The club have said it. He's got a back injury. And the thing is, at the end of the day, he's not looked like the player pre-AFCON that went because of this injury to his back. Now, whether they've got to manage his minutes and whatever to try and get this back thing sorted out, you've got to rotate, use your players. They're going to know that hopefully our medical team will know what players are approaching the red zone and that, and therefore you're going to have to change and swap your players around to get players through a game. I don't care what teams we pick as long as we're in the last 9 games of the season. But what we need to do is we need to rotate the team and get the players that are fit to play.
I would rather play a Sarr who actually, considering he had a back injury, I think has been playing absolutely fine. And don't forget, Bentancur's got a broken toe, but you're okay to play him. So I think it's actually a bit kind of one, like, you've got to have the same rule for each, like, for everybody. And Sarr has been so bloody good that I think that rotating, we've got to play our best players, man. We've got to win the game, so play our best players from the get-go. Otherwise, and then take him off. That's
I mean, something else.
I said Sarr should start because
Big up, Paddy.
they can manage his minutes. They have been he has been managing his minutes because he's taking him off at 55, 60 minutes. isn't he?
Yeah,
In most matches.
Big up Paddy Hartnett. He said, looks like Richie will start. Biss needs to be dropped. Saab, Bentancur in the middle with Lo Celso as the 10. Look, whatever Ange does, I will back Ange 1,000,000%. But if he does start Basuma, I will be asking questions because as far as I'm concerned, it should be done on form. And yeah, I suppose if you look on form, Lo Celso did well last week, but I still want him out of my club as soon as possible.
Yeah, and I'm not disagreeing. I've said that he's probably not going to be it come the summer, but we've got to utilise our players from the last 9 games to get us victories in every game.
Yeah.
The other thing I'll say is what's interesting, guys, is that with the international break that's just gone, right? We got players that they didn't play loads of minutes. Yeah, they've all come back, but Basuma never went. Basuma stayed back at Hotspur away for 2 weeks, so he was under Ange and the coaching team for 2 weeks. Now they must have saw something they liked because they put him as a starter in the last game, but he didn't. Whatever he's done in training for them 2 weeks, I don't believe that Saturday's game now justifies him a starting spot for tonight.
Yeah,
I don't believe that. Yeah, I don't believe that one good game from Lo Celso justifies a starting spot for tonight.
But he's not just played one good game though.
But he has. But like recently, he has. So that to me doesn't justify Lo Celso. That's what I'm saying about keeping the same energy for different players. People say it for one player because they prefer one player, and then do something completely opposite for another player because they're not that keen on them.
I think that's a bit unfair, Mia, really, because he hasn't been given chances. And when he came on the other day, I was really impressed with him.
Yeah, it's probably the best I've seen him play for donkey's years, to be fair. But I've just lost all patience with him because it just never looks interested to me. That's the first time in I don't know how long that I've watched him and thought, wow, he looked decent.
He's very aggressive.
If you put Lamella's fight and determination in Lo Celso, you've got a completely different animal.
Yeah, Joe, it's that attitude, it's that body language. I said that before.
Yeah.
Lo Celso has got this really strange body language. It looks like he just don't care. Like he's just like, he's not very good. His body language isn't very good. I think that's what puts a lot of people.
That's why he doesn't get picked.
Yeah, he just doesn't look. He's so nonchalant. He's just like, pick me, don't pick me. I don't give a crap.
I don't care.
That's what he's like. Yeah.
I bet his ears are burning this morning, old Gio.
I think Ndembele should start.
Oh, shut up.
What, at McDonald's?
They probably do better than Basuma.
Big up, Tony Luxor. Big up to Tony. Good to see you. Obviously, we've got to start debate who's going to be in the front three today. Who's taking this one first? Wow, no one wants to jump in with the
Speed kills. I've said it already. Speed kills. I'm playing Johnson, Werner, Son.
I'll step in that.
I would have Werner, Sonny, and Johnson. That's all I'd start. And I'd have
that was what Jose said, wasn't it?
I'd have Richie off the bench if we need him.
I'm going to go different. I'm going to go Richie to start, Sonny, and play Werner on the other side.
That's my choice, Mia. That's exactly what I would do. Mia?
Say it again.
I'd play Sonny on the left, Richie for the middle, and Werner on the right.
Correct. That's what I would choose. Ellie?
Yeah, I agree with you, ladies. I would have Richie in the middle, Sonny on the left, and Johnson on the right. 100%.
Yeah, Phil?
I wouldn't play Kulu.
No.
I mean, yeah, the only reason why I play Kulu is just because it's hold away. That's the only reason, because I don't think Sonny can sort of do that, especially with their physical centre backs. I think we need some kind of hold up play up there, whether it's on the right, left, or front. Sort of, I don't like it on the right side that Kulu plays there, but I'm going to go with him there anyway, just purely for his old way. Now I'll play Werner left, and then it has to be Sonny up front because he's the most clinical player that we have in front of goal. So yeah, that'll be my front three.
Okay, Colin's gone. AJ, did you say the same as Jimbo?
No, I did second. What is it? Is it Jose? I did second what he said, but I just then remembered that earlier I said I don't think Brennan's got it in him to start. He hasn't got a full 90 minutes. So Kulu doesn't deserve to be on the pitch. So I don't know. I'm a little bit stuck between Johnson starting and Johnson coming on as a sub. The problem is, if he comes on as a sub, it has to be Richie up front, Son out, and Werner out wide. And then I'm going to take Richie off, bring on Johnson, and put Johnson out wide and play Son through the middle.
Yeah. The only point I haven't asked is Colin, but he doesn't seem to be there.
I'm here.
Oh,
camera off.
Go on.
Oh, I was just going to say, I'd rather not see Richarlison today. I know that's probably harsh, but I think we play better without him.
So who would you choose? Poor Richie. Poor Pigeon. Poor.
For me, it would be the Jose special. I want Werner on the left, Sonny down the middle, Johnson on the right.
I just don't see Johnson as a starter.
I think we play better with Richie. Because
I think we need his aerial threat.
He's so good at pressing the ball, Kate, right?
Yeah.
And it's industry, and he comes back and helps the team in the defence as well. I just think all round he gives the team more than if Sonny plays in the middle. I think Sonny on the left is brilliant because he's not a striker. Sonny, he's a winger. He's a winger stroke sort of off false nine. Really, he's not really a striker, is he? But you know, there's another permutation you could do if you don't trust Johnson. You could always play Sonny on the right and Werner on the left because Sonny can do both feet.
So the play is definitely different without Richarlison.
Werner on the right and Sonny on the left. If you want that permutation.
Who said we play better with?
That was me.
Go on, Colin.
Me.
I'll let you answer this.
I was just gonna say I just prefer the football. Richarlison can't trap the ball for shit. Can't, you know what I mean? His passing range is so limited that whenever the ball ends up with him, it's pretty much the end of the sequence. Whereas with our other guys, they all have some passing ability. They've all got. I mean, Richarlison, he can score goals and he has scored goals, and I'm not against keeping the guy, but I think that he's clearly our most limited player if you go skill wise, and
wow, Colin, I thought I was the Richie hater. Go on, Bill. Sorry.
Oh, I don't hate him. He's just not. He's technically not a good. He's just technically not good.
Well, what I would play anyway is I would play Kulu at 9 and then play Johnson right wing and then Sonny on the left. But that I don't think he's going to play. I think he's lost Kulu right and he's played Werner and Son.
I can't hear you very well, Phil. You're really breaking up.
Crackly.
Yeah, we can't hear you, Phil. You're breaking up really bad.
Oh, this is shocking. Sorry, but I'm gonna have to shoot. This is shocking.
Stick a comment in the chat and I'll read it out.
All right. See you later, guys.
Phil.
See you later.
It's the Birmingham crackle.
Joe, I will say about with Richie, I think that he's got a lot about him. So when it comes to helping out defensively, I remember when he's the one for one of the goals, he nicked the ball off someone and then he got back and he helped out as well when he run forward and helped out. I think that people underestimate what Richie actually does. I honestly do. I think that people say because he hasn't got maybe certain skills, maybe because he's not like that skillful kind of striker, that people just be like, oh, he's crap. But I don't actually think that at all. I think that he has got attributes against certain teams that I think that we benefit from. So the other day, he was passing balls to Colin, and they were going across the goal. Joe, who normally would be in there, Richie would normally be in there because he's that kind of player. So if we had a Richie, he would have scored those goals. That's the kind of player. So sometimes, actually, we need that kind of player.
And we need his shithousery as well.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, shithousery. He's pressing. He presses from the front. He's aggressive.
He wins the ball back all over the place.
He wins the ball back a lot. Yeah. As I just said, he wins the ball back, Kate, a lot. He won a couple of times and end up being goals because he wins it back. And don't forget, West Ham are very physical. So we need that
Yeah.
physical side of him.
Yeah,
Do you
I've
guys
always
agree?
been.
Sorry, no,
Sorry,
no, go
Con. I
ahead.
was just going to say I've always been someone who's ultra critical of Richie, but since his op and watching him, he does. Sometimes he drives me mad because he's not clinical enough. I mean, Werner gets accused of not being clinical enough, but Richie's meant to be our striker, and he definitely isn't. But he brings something to this team, and I think with the opposition of West Ham, we need his physicality, his height, and his real shithousery tonight. I
And
really
Smithy's
do.
obviously been getting in your ear, Kate, that much that he's brainwashed you.
Yeah. I don't know what's happened.
His
Big up
stats are
Smithy.
good this
It's that
season.
pigeon ball.
If you look how many minutes he's played to how many goals he's scored, they're fantastic.
Yeah.
He's scored 10 goals, hasn't he? So he's doing his job. And also, like you said, Mia and Kate, his physicality. You need that against West Ham because that Soucek and that Kufor and even Paqueta's a bit of a shithouser. And then they've got the one who's done the damage to the Cats. I've forgotten his name.
Kurt Zuma.
Yeah,
Zuma.
Kurt Zuma, him. He's a big unit as well, isn't he? So you need someone like Richie
Yeah,
to
you
do
get your fast to run circles around him.
and he has improved, Colin. He's improved in terms of his first.
I'm not a Richie
first
hater.
touch.
I promise. I say I would defend it. I defended and defended him. It's just it's when you see a player like Son. I don't know. You got to think about. You've got these two players. You got Richarlison. You've got Son. They both can't play in the middle, but you need one player to play in the middle. I think Sonny's more clinical. I think Sonny is gonna. You know what I mean? It's just. It's horses for courses, but we're talking about all these big, strong, burly guys that they've got. I think that's when you play your small, little, agile dudes, and you just run circles around.
No, because they get kicked. Yeah, but they get kicked about. That's the whole point. Sonny gets kicked about too much. You need someone who's physical, who can take them on and match them physically. Sonny cannot match them physically. That is the fact.
Sonny, that's not Sonny's game.
No, and if we've got wingers,
He's almost like. He's quite a bit. You see his legs; they're powerful, right? He's got strength in his lower body. The upper body hasn't got no strength. That's the problem.
Son's forever losing the ball. When the ball gets played up to him, his first touch this season, especially the last 4, 5, 6 games, it's terrible. He's lost the ball. He plays 5-yard passes, and the ball gets eaten up. Sonny up front as a target man, as a man we hit him with the ball. It's been dreadful. That's not his game. His game is to run in behind.
Absolutely, it is. Absolutely.
Yeah, but that's why if he's on the wings, Colin, he'd be more effective with someone else on the wings who's quick, and then have physicality with Richie to get the ball to him.
Yeah.
I'm saying the majority of his goals. I guess I need to look it up before I just start spouting shit. But it seems like that he's been more effective when played through the middle. But I definitely see your argument, and I'm not saying it's a dumb one or that Richarlison
You better not be saying
sucks
it's a dumb one because
or
I'll
anything
come
like
to
that.
America.
I'm coming to you. I'm coming to your neck of the woods, so don't worry, I'll be there.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, no disrespect at all meant to anybody or to Richie. I just think that,
you've got to be careful, Colin, because he watches this channel every day. He told me.
Richarlison, sir, get some better tattoos in the future. Next time you get a tattoo, get a proper one.
I just saw on TV, City's next 6 games, they're not going to drop a point.
That's it. They're going to lose their next one. They've got Villa,
the way they played against Arsenal was pants.
They've got Villa next, Jim.
They won't.
Can I just say about the Arsenal? Can I just say about the Arsenal City game?
Go on, AJ.
Arsenal,
Man City, they were faffing about with the ball. No end product. Rubbish.
The Arsenal City game. The Arsenal City game was the worst game of football I have seen in the last half season. Arsenal had the cheek. Arsenal and the fans had the cheek to bitch and complain when we played Newcastle. All they did was sit in. All they did was drop deep, defend, play long balls. What were Arsenal doing? They came to that game and set up not to lose. They didn't set up to win. They did exactly what they were criticising Newcastle for. And then the spin we put on it is, but that's the hallmark of champions. That's what big teams. Hang on a minute. Don't be a hypocrite. If you're going to bitch about a team doing that to you, don't then sit in and do exactly the same to another team.
Right, AJ.
And then go, we're champions. We're in the making. We're going to win. Not at all, mate.
Can I tell you who else?
Were terrible.
Do you know
why
who done that, AJ? Jurgen bloody Klopp did that. He bitches and moans about how Tottenham play, and then when they won against us in the Champions League, that's how they beat us, by playing that low
100%.
So they've got bloody
Hypocrites.
to say about how people play.
Yeah.
Bloody hypocritical managers, mate.
He did it again. He did it again when he went down to 9 men. He parked the bus, right, and we beat them, right? And then Ange Postecoglou was brave and went for it against Chelsea. And who got the most criticism? Everybody was saying, "Oh, Klopp knows how to adjust." Yeah, you adjusted and you lost. So
Exactly,
did we.
got to risk it, man.
We didn't adjust, but we lost. But we had 9 men against Chelsea, and they were lucky that they beat us that day, 4-1.
I'm not being funny.
2-2.
I stuck up for Arsenal yesterday, and I do. I think this whole narrative of what they did was wrong. I don't agree. When you're this close to the end of a season and it's this tight in a title race, you cannot afford to drop points. So they went there and played.
That's fine. That's fine. And if that's your tactics, if that's what you're going to do, and that's how you get the point that inevitably wins you the title, fair enough. But channel that same energy. Don't then start criticising other teams, smaller teams that do that against you, and then say it's okay.
I agree with that.
That's my issue. Channel the same energy.
I think actually. Sorry, go on, Mia.
But then saying that, what if they lose the league by 2 points? They could have gone for it, because the whole point in the league, if you play it safe, you might not necessarily always win. You might not win it, and then you played it safe, and that could have been the game that you could have won it, because you could have taken those points off of City and won it. What if City win it by 2 points?
I think to myself, that remains to be seen, right? But you got the way I looked at it was, if they lost that game, Arsenal, right, they go City go three points closer to winning the title, and Arsenal. I think that they did the right thing by nicking the point, but it remains to be seen if it's going to cost them or not.
That's what I'm saying. If it does,
Destiny said if Arteta went toe-to-toe and they lost 4-0, they all would have laughed. I would have laughed. I'd have gone on the terrace and said, "What a mug!" But what I think Arteta did do wrong is I think he gave Man City too much respect. Had he started more speed on the wings, they would have won it, because Man City were off the boil.
Well, if you watch, I think that Arsenal had the better chances in that game as well. But Jesus couldn't put them away. I think they had the better chances.
They did have the better chances, Jim. But the thing about it is that, like I say, they didn't. If they didn't take that. They didn't take any risks. Like, when you look at it, we went up there. At least we got a draw, but we actually scored some goals. They didn't even take a risk to try and score any goals. Yeah. So, like,
we'll see, won't we? But at the end of the
day, the first team in so many years to stop Man City scoring. They haven't lost. They beat both Liverpool and Man City at home and drew with them both away. That's amazing. I don't care what anyone says. That's unbelievable.
We've stopped them from scoring many times. We beat them 2-0.
I know we have, Ellie, but we're not in a title race, lovely. We're not in a title race. We're not in Arsenal's position.
That's the point, right? But I think fortune
favours the brave. Yeah,
right. Right. They went in like chickens. Back. Chickens.
They did it Ellie. It doesn't, because
that's my new advert.
If Arteta is confident that they're going to win the league, you go there and win.
No. They went there last year. They went there last year and played full gung-ho football and got battered 3-1.
Ellie, can you clip that? Ellie, can you clip that? Send me it in a video. Your chicken noise. Yeah. So then I can put it as my theme tune for El Top. I can put it as my theme tune for El Tol Cockerel. Just click it for me.
Tottenham.
Yeah, Kuva, good to see you, sir.
That shows that Arteta doesn't trust his players.
No, it don't, Ellie. It doesn't. It doesn't. It shows he's grown and matured and knows that you have to change how you play depending on your opponent.
No, I don't agree. I think if you're like Bill Nicholson, right, he wouldn't do that. Fortune favours.
I agree with you, Kate. I second that, Kate. It's about game management, in-game management. It's all well and good having an idea and having a philosophy and going, this is what we're going to do. But look at people who have been naming Ange as naive, labelling him as, because he's only got one form of play. He's only got one style. And then when he's not adapting and we're dropping points, people are like, oh, he's naive. If you've got the chance to win a title, if you're in the mix and one of your closest competitors who should be beating you, who everyone thinks, history says, beats you every time you play them, if you can come out of that game without losing and maintain that gap, that's good management. I don't like Arteta. I think he's an average manager.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. But what he's achieving with the squad he's got a very good squad. He's built a very good squad. But my criticism of the whole thing was you have to channel the same energy. You can't be labelling one. You can't be labelling one as, all you can do is sit in and defend against us. When you do that to your opponents and then label it as some massive achievement. That was my issue. But,
plus Arsenal's strength is they've got the best defence in the league. So why not use their strength? And that's exactly what they did. They absolutely. Man City had one shot on target.
They've got the best attack as well. They've got plus Arsenal. They've got the best attack. They've got the best goal difference. So why didn't they go and attack?
Can we get back onto Tottenham?
Big up to
City had one shot on target. One shot on target at home. That's unbelievable.
Big up to Jim and his fabulous assistant. Oh, she's smashed.
We haven't got long left before Ben comes on, so I want to get everyone's.
Is Ben streaming today?
Yeah, I want to get everyone's.
Oh, true.
I want to get everybody's score predictions.
I've just got one quick thing to say on the Arsenal.
Go on, Cooves.
Right. Very few teams in history have won the league by playing it safe. That's what Arsenal did. If you really want to go for it, you've got to know when to take your chances, when to really have that little bit of a gamble, and it's got to come off. Every league-winning side, a few exceptions where somebody's been a runaway winner, but they'll have a little bit of luck go with them. They'll have that little bit of bravery when they need it. I think if you sit back there and accept a point, you deserve what you get if you end up losing the league by a point at the end of the season. Yeah. They have a chance to get. Arsenal. I hate saying it. They've got a really good side right now, and they've got balance in it. And they sacrificed that balance for going into a very defensive shape. I don't think they needed to. I do not think this is the same Man City side we've seen in previous seasons.
The only thing with that is it gives us something to laugh at if they lose it by a point.
Yeah, and it is what I said. I think he did give them too much respect. I do think Arteta gave them too much respect, but at the same time, they're the best team in the world, so they did what they had to do. But anyway, back to Spurs. Jimbo, I'm going to come to you first. What's the score prediction and who's going to score?
It's going to be 3-1.
Yep.
And Werner's going to get a goal. And Sonny's going to get a brace tonight.
Okay. No way, Jose. What's the score going to be tonight and the scorers?
I've got it. If he picks the side that I want him to pick, I've got us winning 2-0. And the scorers for me tonight will be Werner and Sonny.
Go, Werner. Get one in.
Mr. AJ.
I see it being an incredibly difficult match. For some reason, I mean, they could get absolutely pumped 4-0 by every other team in the league, and every other one of their players could have their legs falling off, but they've managed to put in a stellar World Cup winning performance against Tottenham. It's always the way. It means everything to them. I see it being a tough match. I think it's going to be a draw, but I do think Werner will score.
Good. That's what I like to hear. Mia, what's your prediction?
I can't remember if I said 3-2, I think, yesterday. I'm sure that's what I said.
You said, West Ham's, yeah, you did. You said 3-2.
Yeah, I did. Do you know what? My brain this morning, when I was doing my one, I was like, did I say 3-2? I'm sure that I said 3-2. I'm losing the plot. Yeah, I think 3-2. If Richie starts, I think he will score. I'm going to change my goal scorers. And then I think Werner and Sonny to score.
Excellent.
Werner. Come on, Werner.
Miss Ellie, what do you fancy?
What did I say in my score prediction, Kate? Because I can't remember.
You
4-2. 4-2.
4-2 to
4-2, that's
Spurs.
it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sticking by that. 4-2.
And who scores?
Sonia Brace, Romero, and who did I say the other one? Benton.
You said Benny. Yeah, Benny.
Benny, come on.
Are we going for the usual 7-3, Kuva, or are we going a bit more reserved tonight?
Well, you can have two results if you like.
Go on.
It's obviously 7-3. It's always going to be 7-3. But
One day you put it right.
I think with the head taking the Spurs hat off and looking at things, we are not quite right at the moment. We're not clicking. There's still a lot of work to do. A lot of players need to be moved on, and some more talent brought in. I think West Ham are one of those sides, unfortunately, who do know how to raise their game, as already mentioned, when they play us. I remember seasons past, the likes of their huge lumbering centre-back Collins, the Neanderthal. It turned into Matt Hummels when he played us. He was crap the rest of the season, but against us, he was brilliant. And they just got this horrible habit of doing things we don't like. I think we're going to struggle there, to be honest. I'll probably take a 2-2 at this point.
2-2. I have tipped West Ham to beat us, as everybody knows. 3-2. I know it's...
Yeah, bye, Kate.
That's it. Take her out.
Yeah, I'm changing my mind as well. It's too distasteful going for a 2-2. We're going to nick it 3-2.
I'm saying 3-2 to the Hammers, sorry. And I am doing Werner and Ricky to get our goals.
Kate, it's not good. Sorry.
I think they're a bit like they're going to punish us
tonight. Come
tonight.
around my house, I'm going to give you one bit of cucumber.
I'd be careful if I was you, Kate. Ellie looks like she's in the mafia today.
I just give her lasagna, yeah.
As Paddy says, West Ham have only lost once in their last 15 home games.
Yeah.
And
when's the last time we won there? It's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah,
2019.
We beat
2019 was the last time.
Jose, when Jose was in charge, when Dele Alli did that brilliant flick. 2019.
Yeah, can I just say, everyone on the panel is a solid 16 out of 10 today. Anyone who saw Jacob's show last night will know about his favourite video, which was hilarious. Shemtan said, yeah, I'm sorry, I know it's a horrible prediction. I don't like to predict us to lose, but I just say as I see it. Right, I'm going to end it there. Jose, when can people find you over on Talk and Ball or LTL Cockerel next?
I've helped Colin get to the 1,000, so I'm going to start concentrating more on LTL Cockerel now. But I'm doing a watch along tonight, and then tomorrow morning I've got the View from Asia in the morning with Chang and Ash P. Excellent.
Jim, have you got someone else you want to bring to the North London Derby? After Kate's prediction, I can arrange to move her ticket to someone else.
Yeah.
No, I think we're going to beat Arsenal.
You should arrange to get her an Arsenal ticket.
So you think we're not good enough to beat West Ham, but we're good enough to beat Arsenal?
It's a completely different game because it's
so
at our place.
Up every 5 minutes.
And I think we can stop Arsenal from winning the league. Mia, when are you on next, my lovely?
I'm doing my match reaction with Jimbo this evening.
Yes.
And then I'm going to be doing my members call in tomorrow, so we can talk about the game together then.
Excellent. And Ellie, when are you next on?
Right, so what are we now? Monday, aren't we?
Tuesday.
No, Tuesday, sorry. I'm on with you on Friday, aren't I? With Mia.
Yep.
And then I'll probably be on with Jose at some stage this week.
You're doing the ladies' takeover Friday morning.
Yeah, then I'm doing the ladies' takeover on Friday with Ash as well. And then on Saturday I'm on with Bobby. But we're all on with Bobby, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Cuba, sorry, not just Bobby.
Cuba, are you doing your football show this week?
No, I've cancelled everything.
Don't tell lies.
Yeah, Bobby and I on Thursday evening, just doing a proper football chat.
Yeah,
we can do them occasionally. Then, of course, Kuva and the Kang on Saturday. Big up to Ben Kaufman as well. Need his score prediction. That's the one that counts, by the way. If he
Yeah.
predicts us to lose, we'll be all right.
I'm sure he predicted to lose. He's good
No,
at
he
that.
predicted a draw earlier on my channel, so he predicted a 2-2
okay.
draw, I believe.
So there will also be brewing bollocks on tomorrow as well on Ben's show. So
Yeah, on the coffee company.
yeah, anything to try and avoid football with me, basically.
I am back tonight at 6:45 on We Are Tottenham TV with Dave for the pre-match pump up, and then Jimbo and I are back tomorrow. Thank you, AJ,
Hang on,
Jose.
you haven't asked me.
I don't have to ask you. Thank
Well,
you,
I wanna-
Jose.
Can I say something?
Go on, Jimbo. Get
I
in
just
there.
want to thank Jose and Colin for coming on because they haven't been on for a long time, and it was nice to see them both on here.
And Phil Coys as well. Never been on before, even though he's got a dodgy old
Oh, isn't he? I
headset.
thought he'd been on, Phil.
No, he hasn't. No.
I'm Phil. Sorry, Phil.
But thank
We
you.
are loyal minions.
Jose, Colin, AJ, Mia, Ellie, Kuva, and Phil for all coming onto the member stream.
And I missed Martin Knightsbridge on here. I'm sorry, I did.
I know I didn't get to see the wall. Very disappointed.
I just wanted to show Jimbo my pussy.
I do love a pussy, Ellie.
There she is. She's sleeping
right,
away in our spare bed.
Can we just check one thing quickly as well? Look
Yeah.
at Mia's face and then say members stream. No? All right, okay.
No.
Nice one.
Have a great day. Stay where you are. You're all going to be diverted over to Ben's at the coffee company. But yeah, let's hope for a win tonight. All quickly before I go, I mustn't forget, big up to Steve D for being a member for 5 months. Bobby Cave being a member for 5 months. Nithin for the super chat. Martin Knightsbridge for the super chat. The Belgian Hotspur, i.e. Joris, for becoming a new member, and Ben for being a member for 5 months. You are all
Can you always
legends.
send over some of those lovely chocolates from Belgium, please?
Yes, please.
Yes,
Have a great day, everyone. And yeah, come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Get locked up.